Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to this match of the
Hello,
PMA
hello, hello,
LCS
everyone.
Red Division.
Oh no,
And welcome.
stream.
Do not want the double sounds of Caleb's voice. Um, but yeah, welcome everyone to the stream. We have WSP versus BP, and should have a good match today. We're just now starting pick bands, seeing some bands go out. We For our first game of the day, we have WSP on blue side with uh, Bachelor Party on red side. Now we have a few bands already coming out. We can see WSP choosing to not deal with uh, a few of BP's signature champions, specifically Bear Jr.'s Yasuo and Aurelia, and getting rid of Boy's Morgana as well for their third ban. With BP choosing to focus on banning out the support pool for Slaga, the team captain on for the washed up Space Police, as well as throwing in a final ban there for Olaf. Um, yeah, and I was going to talk more about the bans, but Orn first pick is very spicy because Orn is ridiculously strong right now. Orn is way too strong right now, and not only is the champion just on his own offers so much uh, extra stats and gold and just power and lane to his team, he also has had his main item buffed significantly in the form of all the Sunfire and Bomby Cinder type items, which is core on Ornn. Yeah, that champion is just stupid and I think amazing first pick here. Um, and on the side for BP for their first two picks, they get the uh, birdie boy and gal duo that is Zaya Rakan. Um, yeah, that's a lane. You know, I totally know a lot of things about bot lane. Um, uh, yeah, don't expect a lot of significant analysis on in terms of the bot side of the map and the jungle side of the map. Uh, I can talk about the solo lanes. um, but yeah, um, yeah, seeing a couple of strong picks here. Getting the Ari for picking up Ari for Bear Jr. That's his name. Mid laner for Bachelor Party. I do not believe I've seen Bear play. This could be Julio is in the past has been called the Ari one trick. So very comfortable in that champion. So I would not be surprised. And Bear is very versatile. So I would not be surprised if with the sub counter spell is a sub, uh, and just them moving around with the versatility of their of Bear uh, really can play any role. I would not be shocked to see a switch from mid lane for Bear from the Julio and Clumsy Chocobo and Bear Jr. So that is my guess is that it's an Ari mid lane. And uh, in other news of versatility, we have seen that the washed up space police do like to do a lot of different laning combinations. They do like, you know, to send people varying different lanes based on the champions that they can secure. So I honestly couldn't tell you who's going where at this point. Probably Slug on support and probably Fish Baby top, but um, We'll just have to wait and see where the rest of everyone goes. Um, just a few more bands here. Deciding to take away some 80 carries from uh, WSP. Caitlin, very strong for Vitalis Didius, and just a solid 80 carry in general, as well as taking away Sivir, one of the uh, better team fight oriented. And I do believe that Rengar looked like to be a mistake. We'll have to wait and see if they clarify that. Um, Let me ask real quick. Yep, just sent a message. I could not see the chat for the in-game lobby, so I'm a little. If they're talking about anything, I'm a little lost. So as of now, this is the lineup that we see. It could be a Rengar. The pick just looked a little suspect, as they were hovering Sejuani immediately after. But on the side of BP, they do pick up the Rise, which is probably Bear Top. He played a very solid Rise last week against my team, and it was not. Wait, no, was that last? It was last week. It was not fun, and yeah, he's very proficient on that champion. Uh, okay, we are getting word that Rengar pick is indeed a Sejuani. So that'll be the last two picks would be Sejuani and Thresh on the side of WSP. So yeah, here we have the teams, and I will say on the side of BP, I do like both of these teams. I will say that just based on um, first initial glance here, um, I feel like I like BP's more. And I'll tell you why. It's because I feel like they have found a way, oh, found a way, hopefully to counter this very strong Ornn pick. Now, while you have the Rise in lane, which in the lane, which can hopefully stay back, not let the Ornn abuse his ridiculous brittle effect. Hopefully, if he can stay away from the angry pillars and charge of death. Um, but I really like this Trundle pick because Ornn himself just innately gets 10% extra defense stats. On top of that, he also just gets 3,000 gold at level 12, or level 12 if he has two of items that he can upgrade. Generally, that's going to be the Infernal Mask and the Sunfire Cape. Um, Generally, that's even extra stats. And so the Trundle stealing all those stats from the Ornn and all the stats from the Sejuani is like he's got, and even if the Thresh goes defensive and he's the only one around, that Trundle pick is very strong. I feel like that's a pretty, if that is a Trundle and that's not a classic PMA champion slip up, I feel like that's a very good pick. Now let us go ahead and switch us over to the champion select client real quick. There we go. And here we can just one more thing about these teams that I'm just noticing. Is that on the side of WSP, they did go a more CC based tank, you know, beefier comp. Well, BP decided to go for a little bit more damage. We'll see, what wins out. I feel like both of these teams scale. There's certain champions that scale fairly well. but again, in terms of the tanks, these tanks scaling, as far as I'm aware, I don't think a tank is ever going to outscale a Trundle just because he can steal all your stats, you know. So I think it'll just be uh, whoever can perform the best on these champions. Um, again, I don't know much about matchups in bot lane, but that doesn't it doesn't. I couldn't tell you which team has the best matchup in the bot lane. Uh, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how this goes. Um, so it does look like, ooh, as of now, it looks like Bear Jr. is hovering the Zaya pick. Uh, okay, well, before we analyze this, we'll just have to wait and see if everything here is the way it is once they load in the game, and then we'll start talking about these champion player pairings, if it is indeed going to be what it is now, because it would be very, very interesting. Um, all right, it does look, yeah, it looks like this is just going to be the way it is. Um, so Bear Jr. deciding not to take uh, the Rise pick, as well as Clumsy Chocobo not picking up the Ari. Now, I do believe that Counter Spee uh, does play a fair bit of Ari. If I do, it's one of his picks that one of his non-support picks, I do believe, um, that he does play. So that could be why. It could be that's just in the level of his champion that. Um, and I guess it does make sense because I was operating under this for some reason operating before that counter speed was a replacement for their support, but of course Gerg7 has been playing the AD carry role for his team for BP. So um, and as far as I'm aware, counter speed doesn't play uh, ADC. So um, yeah, it'll be nice to see. Um, yeah, it's nice to see some of these. I'll say it's nice to see uh, the Sejuani Trundle. You know, the sort of classic Sejuani Trundle sort of matchup. You know, it's interesting that you pick Sejuani. First of all, at all. I mean, I don't know. Is she good? No one's here to confirm or deny me, so I'm just gonna say I haven't seen her at all ever in the past century, so I don't think it's good. But she has a CC button and gets a lot of armor. But the Trundle also equally is not good, except when Sejuani's good. So there's that. Uh, but I'm excited because I think this is big brain. I'm not gonna lie. I think what BP has done here with putting the Trundle on the theatrics jungle, I think is big brain because you see the Ornn pick and then you see them pick a Sejuani and a Thresh. All three, especially the classic Sejuani counter. You know, typically is considered like the highest armor you can get in the game, and I think it's something ridiculous when she has her passive up like several 100% extra armor for a few seconds, and when you trigger it, you just steal it, and then boom, you fucking a huge trundle. Um, but also with the ridiculous strength of Ornn right now, he's gonna have a ridiculous amount of of um, of defensive stats. So it'll be interesting to see. And in terms of comfort, from what I'm aware of, We of course have Tijiboy and Rakan as comfort. Slagon Thresh, I believe, is also a comfort. Um, if I am correct about counter speed, seems also to be a comfort. Um, and then I do know that Nukaba Turk does like Kiana in the mid lane. So got the game just now starting up here. So let me go ahead and bring us.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Talking about remaking because the Zion Rakan skin's not mine. Just going to pause the game real quick while I fix my nameplates. We'll just get to sit here and watch this Ari little circle. Just entertain yourself there, just a wee bit, while I fix my nonsense. We have the BP for the red side. We have the WSP for the blue side. Boom, boom. All right, should be good to go. Awesome. Now, just looking just initially at where people are standing, the lanes, everything looks normal. We have Ornn at the top. The only thing that I was questioning that might be weird is this change down here with the Rise and the possibility of the Rise and the RE switching might be doing weird things, but no, they're just doing standard lanes. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to stop. Interesting to look. We have the scanning in the mid lane, just denying that early vision information. Just saying no to counter speed. You do not get to know where my jungler is. Having a little bit of an early trade in the bot lane and huge damage going out on the Thresh. Wow, great. That's power of the Zyra Rakan lane, I guess. Just huge damage coming out. Yes, OP, I am solo casting. But yeah, so it's huge damage coming out. Interesting that they didn't wait for second level, but a good trade's a good trade. So the junglers did start on the same side of the map. They started on their top side and rotating down just blue side. So possibility that they will be fighting over this bottom scuttle. Now, one thing to note is that this Ronnie did full clearing, and the jungle did skip this camp. And it looks like we have a little bit of a tussle going on in the bot lane, and did not quite seem like the Xayah was quite on board with that trade there. The Rakan got a little bit left out. So yeah, it does look like the Trundle is making his way for a possible gank. And the Sejuani was caught out on a ward, so we'll see if anything happens down here. The Trundle does come in with the big pillar, but the Thresh is just gonna lantern his Senna to carry to safety. And in the meantime, it does look like, yes, the Sejuani was able to uh, secure that crab during that gank. Um, so that's pretty good, considering that the bot lane of WSP did not lose any summoners. And yeah, this lane, so from what it looks like, is that this Senna Thresh lane is very, very safe so far. From what I can see, is that, you know, as long as not both of them are knocked up by the Rakan, the Thresh just nopes them out. Just nopes them out of there. Yeah, Opie, I'm fine either way. If you wanna come hop in, you're welcome to. If not, I can rock it solo. I'll just, you know, talking to myself like a crazy person. It's what I do anyway, so. Yeah, it does look like a double scuttle secure for blue side. It looks, as well as a bit of a CS lead. We'll see after the Trundle just now wrapping back around. Ooh, just rooted down on the Senna. Oh, nothing is going to come out of that. Looks like the Khan CD is not quite there. Meanwhile, trade in the mid lane. Yeah, so far no obvious leads. Maybe slightly more success in the early jungle pathings for the side of WSP. But so far, no huge leads to be seen. One thing to note is that we are starting to see, we'll see after first backs where we are, but it is looking like this blue side is shoving out mid lane and is looking to both secure this bottom scuttle and try maybe set up for this air kick. No, it looks like Sejuani is just going to take the dash over the wall and sweep the wards. Oh, but it does look like, yes, Sejuani is starting. So we'll see if the Sejuani can pick up that first trade. There's a little bit, looks like the Ahri and the Trundle are checking, and oh, it's a very low Sejuani. Can she get it? She does get it, just barely. Gets the dragon and out there clean. The orange TP being stopped, and she didn't have to. She didn't burn any summoner to do it. While the Ahri did ult and ignite to try to disrupt that dragon play. So very good on the side of WSP. And now we can see with the CS in the mid lane a small lead gain there of about 15 or so minions. We'll see after, you know, the wave's a little wonky. So it's about 10 minion difference in the mid lane. And, you know, keeping up with the jungle CS after taking a dragon. So we'll see what it's like at the end. Now, the Rift Herald will be spawning soon. Looks like. Hey, someone in chat. There's a way. There's some way I can bring up objective timers, correct? How do I do that? In the meantime, while I'm trying to figure that out, we can see the ult does come out on Chug Clem and Chocobo. The ult comes out on the Nuke Avaturk, but this Rise is just keep running, and he tried to TP out, and he gets away! Oh no! And the Sejuani was not level 6, so he could not quite get out, so. Ooh, the flash out of the Mighty Ahri. And man, this red team is really trying to find, both teams trying to find some sort of team play here, but both not quite able to make it stick. There was not quite enough early pressure on these summoner spells to really punish, try to punish with a 3-man play like that on either side. But now there are several flashes down across the board. So, or at least in the mid lane, and yeah, in the mid lane. So we'll see if anything can come of that. The Rift Herald is up. In the meanwhile, hopefully things can be okay for now while I try to figure out where that all this is. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure where it is, but yep, not quite sure where the objective timers are. So we'll just have to guess when the next dragon comes up. But yeah, so far both teams looking pretty solid. The bot lane, there is a huge CS lead for the side of BP on this Xayah. They did get a very good mini freeze there and are just shoving wave after wave after wave down into the side of WSP. The Senna Thresh Wave lane seems very safe, but it does not seem very good for the farms. Yeah, no big explosive play so far. There will be a little bit of a tussle here in the top lane. Looks like again, the Trundle just bashing into that Sejuani, stealing all of her armor. The Senna ult coming out, keeping the Sejuani alive. Theatrics trying to cannot quite catch up. In the meanwhile, the mid laners catch each other in the river. And it looks like BP is going to make a play for Rift Herald. In the meantime, Nukapaturk does go in on the Ahri, but flash coming out on the Trundle. It looks like the Xayah goes back in. I feel like if she kept running, she had a higher percentage chance of going out alive. Almost like maybe she thought she could dash far enough away from the Trundle to get a Thresh Lantern maybe, but that, I don't know, that seems like you just keep running to your tower maybe, to me.
Oh, oh hi.
Oh, hi.
In the action. What time are you at?
I am at 11:35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. 11:41, 42. Are you there? You good?
I'm a little ahead of you, so I'm paused. Let me know when you get to 50.
Alright, I'm at 50. I'll just pause it. Alright, you ready? I'll just count us down.
3, 2, 1, go.
Boom. And we have another caster. I'm not alone.
Oh, so for the objective timers at the bottom left, there's a little button that says user or interface visibility.
Ah. Haha.
And it'll pop up link.
I don't even care about this Rift Herald play. I'm just excited. I get to see the timers. But oh yeah, BP huge Rift play. They brought earlier when I was surfing out. Huge fight coming out. The Thresh going down early on the side of WSP. This Ornn disrupting with his ult. Meanwhile, Nukapaturk on the Kiana has not managed to take down Bear Jr. and that is huge for the side of BP. That was a very intense fight, but I think again, WSP just did not quite have enough damage to follow up all their CC. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't really have a whole lot of range to damage. Like, Kiana's got to like dive in on you. You've got Senna. Meanwhile, you've got a Ryze, an Ahri, a Xayah who can just like kite you away.
Right. It looks like they are waiting possibly for Smite. Alright, so they did secure the check. Yeah, it's so... What I'd say with these teams is I'd say that honestly, this game looks so much different
Turret plating will soon
if there's
fall.
any other pick in the jungle for BP. Like, I honestly think the jungle pick was perfect here. Like, because it takes the tank comp of WSP and just says, hey, yeah, you guys messed up.
Well, yeah, Trundle can ult, you know, either the jungler or the top laner, and I mean,
And
theoretically,
just
even
become
later,
unkillable,
the support.
basically. Yeah.
Like, whoever he can get close enough to, he
Yeah.
can essentially ult
Yeah.
in this match.
Yeah. And if you look at it, oh, not quite yet. They don't have quite items, but we'll take a peek whenever whenever this Ornn and the Sejuani start getting armor, and just how much armor there is to steal, how much armor in Magic exists there is to steal for those two champions. I mean, it's ridiculous. I think starting to see the light comp difference. Ooh, a play does come out. The Kiana flashes in, but
So
blast
depressing.
plant. Oh. And again, there's just not enough damage to follow up. And it looks like souls are coming out. Rakan does get the knock up. Some flashes and heal coming out on the side of VP, trying to get out.
Yeah, that was just so depressing.
Yeah.
Had the great looking engage there, but
Just
then
the blast plant. Just,
the blast plan to like deny the ultimate
Yeah.
and stuns.
yeah.
That's
And
rough.
it looks like BP is just content to chase down these kills. The Senna does get out with the Thresh. And that'll be all for the bot. Oh, the Ornn ult, not quite touching. Ooh, that is, I did not notice, that is the
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Ignite. How does Ornn have Ignite? Wait, he's, oh! Ornn has Unsealed Spellbook. Huh. I guess it worked out, because he just got the kill. Cool. Yeah, I don't take that on Ornn, so I don't know how that is. But I'd say in terms of the around the map trade, I'm pretty content if I'm BP trading a Rise kill for you know, a tower, and I think that's pretty decent. So tell me, how are you feeling? How are you feeling so far about your thoughts on this game? What are you thinking comp wise? What are you thinking performance wise? What are you looking at?
I mean, it's kind of how I expected. I expected it to be, the bot lane was going to be a very strong focus, because I mean, like, you've got the bot lane of PP, you've got Bear Jr. playing Xayah, you've got Dubois playing, I mean, his best champion in Rakan, although Rakan's not super meta right now, unfortunately, but like still, super good champion, like got the engage, and you could just see how well it's going based on, you know, like farm differences, for instance. Like just snowballed it early, and then the fact that the rest of the map is going
Right.
really well.
And Rakan's always been a lot stronger of a 5s pick than it has in solo queue. But yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, and I mean, I will keep saying this forever. In like climbing
Looks
alpha
like a little
LCS,
bit of a fight coming out. Counter speed does get taken down on that Ahri. I feel like if there is ever a time to make a play for
Oh,
WSP,
no.
it's right here. Meanwhile, if they can get this, ooh, the Kiana
Oh,
ult
that's
does
so
come
good!
out, keeping the Trundle away. And meanwhile, I don't think Trundle has ult anymore. He used it on the, oh, the hook just barely missing. And looks like that should be it. Maybe if there's some hook play or a lucky Ornn knockup, maybe on the tower wall. Oh, look for that tower. Oh, if I was that Ornn, I would E straight into that tower terrain. Oh, get that double knockup. But yeah, looks like the next play around is going to be for the dragon. And just look, I want to point something out. Look at all of this up here. It's just massive. BP was like, hey, let's pressure for this. And look at all this vision. And there's like one blue ward like right here. And then you look over here. Oh, it looks like they might be out of wards. But yeah, huge vision play on the side of BP. So very cool to see. Just some tussles. Ooh, the ult does come out on the Sejuani.
Oh, you got the Kiana coming around.
But again, not the damage to follow up, and the Kiana just not able to get in the thick of the team fight.
Uh-oh, Piper is in a bad place.
Ari just zipping around the back lines, over the pit, picking off the Senna. Unfortunate.
And see, the engages from Sejuani have been good, but just mistimed. Like, all you had to do was wait. Yeah, you just had to wait for the Kiana another second or two. Oh,
this looks
fight.
pretty good. And honestly, this is Ornn damage right here. This is all the Ornn damage, just popping those brittles. Kiana does pick up that last bit, and looks like without their jungler, BP went off the dragon. Ooh, now the Xayah is caught out. Does get the ult out. Maybe they can catch her here.
Yeah, that was a really good ult to stop the root there coming out.
Right.
The root would have come out, it would have been easy dead because they would have just kept chasing. A little greedy from BP, just trying to chase down, and then got caught out with just 2 of them on the side, where I think the rest of them were like, "Hey, let's do dragon."
Right.
Now they get a mountain drake, which is gonna be insane for their team based on how much resistances they're gonna build.
Right.
Because if you're getting that percent, I don't even know what percent you get from Cloud.
And if you look at it, yes, every team fight so far has been won by BP. But we're 20 minutes in the game, and there's been like 2 team fights. So right there, you feel, when you're BP, you feel very strong. You feel so much stronger. You look at the scoreboard, you know, the enemy team has gotten 1 kill, you've gotten 4. You know, the Senna stealing the crab.
Knifing it away with the 1 auto.
Eating it like a snack. But honestly, there have not been a lot of bloodshed in this game other than just strictly team fights. And because of that, because, you know, yes, the blue side is down, they're not inting. They're just losing these fights, and that's it. Like 2 or 3 people might die in the fight. But you don't find all these extra deaths. Right. So there's not these huge gold leads. You know, it's just 3,000 gold. So that's why that dragon play was able, you know, to go that wrong, because I feel like the Trundle felt he was a lot stronger than they were a lot more ahead than they were.
Oh yeah. And the way I look at it is BP has the very strong.
Oh, think we lost you there.
Sorry, I mic muted. BP has the very strong early, mid, and bottom side of the map. Like Xayah, I mean, she's even good late game, but especially versus like a Senna Thresh, when you've got a Rakan as well, is gonna have such a strong early game. And so I mean, they've been using it, and they've been using the Ahri charm picks to their advantage. While yes, you have a Rise for late game and a Trundle who, I mean, stealing the stats is very good versus a Sejuani, an Ornn, etc. I mean, you got the Rise for late game, but you got such a strong early game, and then I'm just waiting for, you know, you get a perfect Ornn.
Ooh, having a slight engage here, and ooh, the flash ult engage. Not quite able to get the lantern in there. Have some follow-up damage on the Thresh, and that's going to be a clean pick from on the team of BP. So looks like they're just going to use it to reset, though. Oh, maybe not. They might be trying to rotate Petrol for Baron.
There is a level advantage for Theatrics, so the smite difference. You also, because of the unsealed spellbook, you could have the Ornn switch to smite as well.
Right.
So that is a thing that can happen, but yeah, I mean, you're basically just looking for a, you know, coordinated team fight, you know, with the Sejuani and the Kiana going in basically at the same time. Like, that's really what it comes down to, is are they engaging at the same time? Are they coordinated enough? And then you have an Ornn just coming in on top of it, who's teleporting in.
Ooh, the Kiana does get kicked out, but the huge Ornn ult hits 2 of the team. Pretty good.
Oh!
Ooh.
Oh! Hook hits. Not enough.
Thresh does go down, and in the back there, Trundle does get down to Sejuani, and it looks like BP is just going to be able to clean these up. Maybe catch out this Ornn. I feel like maybe chasing the Ornn is not the greatest use of the time, because
Oh my goodness, the
he's just
trade
so,
back.
it does so much damage. But this Ornn, see again, I really just, you know, as a Sejuani, just. Or even as a Sejuani or Ornn or Thresh, just being in the middle of a team fight and being like, yes, I will peel and tank the damage and wait, oh god, what is this club in my face? Why does it hit me for a quarter of my HP? Auto attack.
See, yeah. It's,
You know?
there's so much damage that can come out from that. I think people just disrespect it all the time.
And he's
I
basically
think,
building
yeah.
like Bruiser. Like he's got the Cinder Hulk and he's got the
Missed the
ooh,
flash.
not quite
Time check.
there.
What time are you at?
24:34.
For 5, 36, 37,
Yeah,
38.
yeah. I think my commentary is just a little behind because I got slow brain syndrome.
Hey, it happens. At this point, because we've been seeing that the Kiana is trying to flank. I just think you just need to have don't necessarily front to back, but like stand with the Sejuani as she's trying to go in, because if she lands a stun, that should be a free reason to ult. Whereas right now we've got Kiana in the backline. Rakan is still alive after all of that. Oh my god, that was a 3-for-1 just instantly.
Wow.
With a great Kiana ult coming out in the backline to land the stun, to be able to get a lot of damage out there. And I mean, Rakan survived for so long there in the middle of 4 people.
Right, and again, it's just
So maybe I lied. Kiana, get in the backline, do your thing. Ignore what I just said, because that's apparently.
again if you look at the team comp from WSP, they do have a very they have huge playmaking ults. Like specifically, you know, like all their champions are just huge like team fight playmakers. Like an ult with an ult like Ornn ult with Ornn knockups can be fight changing. The correct Sejuani ult on someone who doesn't have a cleanse, huge. Or you know, in the middle of the team, huge. You know, it's weird, but Kiana is just one of those assassins that has a huge team fight ult that and she gets in the middle of a team fight and, you know, knocks an entire enemy team into a wall.
Oh no.
When she's not getting
caught out though.
caught out, unfortunately. But yeah, so this, if we do look at it, WSP's way back into this game, in the terms of financial strength and just strength in general, they're one dragon away from Soul somehow, but from being 4K down in gold, they're one.
Meanwhile, you got the jungler in the bot lane, but the rest of the team is on the Baron. You've got all of WSP here in the bot lane, going after this Trundle, who is taking forever to die.
Just not refusing to go down.
Although they're taking the Baron slowly, but there's no way that they can get there in time.
Maybe we'll
It's
see
gonna be
Senna
Glon.
steal, if she knows. I don't think she knows.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, just complete vision control of all. Like there's two pinks on Dragon, on Baron. There's a pink on there, so they do trade their jungler for the pet. It looks like, and they are going for this. Some ults coming out, a Thresh hook coming out. Rakan going in just to disrupt any sort of initiation from the Ornn. It looks like they're gonna back up from this.
Honestly, this is, well, Trundle's coming back now. That was a time to try and look for a fight.
Yeah.
Problem is, ooh, a nice hook, but
nice
that's
hook.
not gonna do anything. That's
Yeah.
more of a bait. You're looking to fight in those small corridors. Oh, interesting. once again, they're trying to engage on this Rakan, and Rakan's pretty slippery, so I think a little bit wasted on trying to get the Rakan.
Yeah, it's looking like just shoving in, getting all this lane priority for every lane, getting all this lane shoved in. For the side of BP, just keeping the pressure on, and it looks like, ooh, huge damage coming out from Kiana, but just not able to get the burst, not quite able to get it down, even with the help of the Senna.
So here's the thing. So it is a 4-for-1, but you got Ari that's super low, and Trundle used his ult already onto the Kiana. So I mean, now is like actually a good time to fight with the Ari being so low.
I just think that honestly, this team, I don't think WSP has any chance of winning a fight without an Orin ult. I really don't. And there's just too much Baron pressure down bot with the Rise shoving in the wave and just the Baron minions. It's hard to get the Orin over there, especially since he has Ghost right now for the TP.
Yeah, you just need Thresh to walk up, play that minion back. Oh my god, the
so much damage.
Xayah damage.
Xayah. Jeez. 316 Xayah. Oh, the ult coming out, knocking up the tank. Oh, there's so much shred here. The GA is popping. Orin is coming in. Does take down the Rakan.
Oh. Kiana's just not able to get anything off of that, and it's a 4-for-3 right there, so they're just gonna get all 3 inhibs.
Yeah, Kiana's just been barely not having enough damage.
Or just end the game.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like they might be just pushing to end the game. Right. Not having quite enough wave clear on the Senna.
Yeah, Senna is just not able to do enough damage. They don't have really any wave clear. Especially like you get Baron minions coming in, like they did a pretty good job in the top side, you know, fending off that tower for so long. But I mean, yeah, they don't really have a whole lot of wave clear outside of Senna, and that's even still not much because he was a little bit behind. So well closed out by BP.
Yeah, and so game 1 will go to BP. Just let's look a little bit before we close out game 1. Just a little bit, you know, the most important stat, damage. Only thing that's important right here. Huge Ari damage. Huge Xayah damage. I was not expecting the Ari to have more damage, but it's pretty cool. Yeah. It's a good time. And we'll close up this first game stream here. I might do some additional analysis on this game if we have any time during Champion Select for the next game. But yeah, closing this game out here, and we'll see you. Oh, wait. Do we do? I don't do the slot. Do we do MVP?
Yeah, I'll make a poll.
You
real
make
quick.
a poll. Do we do that? Yep. Do we do that now, or do we?
You could cut it, and then we'll
All
put
right.
it in afterwards, and then as we're talking about
All
the
right.
next game. Yeah.
Go do the MVP poll. It'll be in the chat at some point, hopefully, maybe, kind of. Who knows?
As soon as we start the next match or next game.